There's some incredible TV coming out of the UK right now. Brits just do it differently. The accents, the wit, the scenery, the devastating one-liners disguised as compliments. It's all streaming on BritBox. They have the best mysteries, dramas, comedies, and seriously addicting originals like Outrageous, based on the true story of the Mitford sisters. They were kind of like the Kardashians of the 1930s, wealthy, audacious, chaotic, wildly opinionated, and always making headlines. And chances are you've never heard their story. It's stunning. It's jaw-dropping. It's very British. So check out Outrageous. It could be your next favorite. Don't miss Outrageous, streaming now only on BritBox.
All right, everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to In the Mind of Jax Taylor. We had a pretty fun last week. I have my sister on this week. I think this is the first time you've been on this podcast. I think you were on When Reality Hits with me and Brittany, but I think this is the first time you've been on this one, which is kind of exciting. We're going to hear all about everything. Got probably a lot more bad than good, but you know what? That's why we're here. We're going to be brutally honest. So are you excited, Jenny? Are you happy about this?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
She's really nervous. She was really hesitant on this. She's like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? So I guess let's just get into it because we have lots of questions to get into, and a lot of people had a lot of things they want to know. But first of all, I just got back from Michigan. I'm so excited that I got to finally see my sister's new house, and I got to say, I have never been so emotional. I went into that house. Now, mind you, they moved from a town in Mount Clemens to on the water. And being on the water is my sister Jenny's and her husband Patrick's was their dream. Like, it was their dream to move on the water. It was also my father's dream to move on the water. And I think there was a little bit of emotional, ties in that when they got to do that, because I think not only did they do that for themselves, but I think it's like my sister was probably like, oh, my dad would love this. It's just such a really big thing. If you live in Michigan, and it's to live on the water is a really, really, really big deal. It's a really, really big deal. Yes. And not only do they live on the water, they don't live on a canal. They don't live on an adjacent pond or lake. They live on the lake. I mean, they are on it. It's so intense.
It's pretty amazing.
It is very, very amazing. Lake St. Clair. And they have a beautiful, beautiful boat. They got a beautiful, beautiful home that they're currently working on right now. And like I said, I pulled up to the house.
Huge work in progress.
It is. It's my favorite thing to say. It's a work in progress, but it's such a gorgeous, gorgeous home. And I cried when they told me how much they paid for it because I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here in LA? But anyway, I pulled up to the drive.
But it's a total gut. So, we were very blessed. That's why I feel like it's meant to be that we were able to do this because my husband can do all the work.
Yeah,
and it's going to be probably a 10-year project.
He literally can do anything. This guy's like a finished carpenter, contractor, builder, literally can do it all. He's an amazing, amazing guy. Good. I have a really, really good brother-in-law. He's an amazing dude, and he literally is a jack of all trades, so he can kind of do it all. But like I said, I rolled up, and this is so unlike me. I rolled up to the house, and I literally started crying. I told them, I was like, they took me through the house, and I was like, I'm getting emotional about it right now. It was so emotional just to see where they came from and how beautiful their home is. Because it's a scary thing, you're leaving one home and going to another, and they had
home, mind you, that we just finished 100% perfectly, never had to touch again.
Right, no house payment either, right?
Beautiful.
No mortgage.
What?
You had zero mortgage. You paid off the house, right? The house was paid off.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we got it for a great deal. My husband completely redid that house to exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Never needed to touch it again. And now we are back to square one. And I'm pretty sure the whole time I've been with my husband, we've been living in a construction zone. So that's always fun.
Well, kind of growing up, that's how we were. We lived in I want to say between 6 and 8 houses growing up.
Yeah.
And soon as
it's a real estate game.
As soon as the trim went up, I don't know if people know what trim is. As soon as the crown moldings went up, our house went for sale. And we always knew, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Because our parents would get bored. As soon as the house was done, they're like, okay, let's go find another one and fix it up. So we kind of grew up like that. So anyway, I pulled up to the driveway. I was so excited to see them, and I was I had tears in my eyes. It was just it was just, I'm just so happy for them. I truly was so happy for them. So anyway, that's what happened. We had a really, really good time. We had I had a podcast. I had my podcast tour going on. We were at Gino's Surf on Lake St. Clair. It was a great turnout. Jenny ended up being the most popular one there. She had a lot of fun. People were coming up to her and taking pictures. She just really, really enjoyed it. Lori couldn't make it to that one, so she helped me out with the questions. And I think it went really, really well. What do you think, Jen? Was it fun?
Yeah, you had a really great, it was really great. Yeah, the audience was great.
Audience was great. I mean, my
fans are the best fans.
I always like go back and I'm like, was it okay? Because I tend to black out on these podcasts. Like I just go through the motions and I don't really know what's going on. So I'm really hypercritical of myself when I'm done. I'm like, how did it go? Was I engaging? And everybody was saying you literally held everyone's attention. Even from the back row, everybody was so engaged. Everybody loved all the questions. Everybody loved how I brought people up on stage and we broke down people's relationships. I think people really, really loved it. They were like, when are you coming back? This was amazing. I really loved bringing the people up on stage. I think that was like the most.
Yeah, that's definitely your favorite. But I think everybody else liked the questions.
Yeah, you think they like the questions? I think, yeah, a little bit of both, because I like bringing girls up on stage and kind of saying, okay, tell me about what relationship issues you're going through, or what kind of issues your man what kind of issues are you going through with your man right now? And 9 times out of 10, I've gone through those issues. So I'm kind of like, okay, this is what's going on, A, B, or C. So, and then we got into the questions, which is really cool. My sister was walking around the whole thing, asking people questions. And I didn't even know this. My ex-girlfriend showed up. From high school. Jenny was like, guess who's here? Your ex-girlfriend's here. And I thought that was really, really cool. It was nice. It was just nice to be home. I've been all over the world. I've been very blessed to, been out of the country. I've been Australia, Germany, Italy, Spain, New York, LA, Chicago. I've been to all these places. But I tell you what, nothing is better than coming back home. I love Michigan so much. It's always going to be home to me. I've been living in California since 2005, but I still consider Michigan my home. It's always going to be my home. I love that place so much, especially this time of the year. It's becoming boating season. I'm really excited. I'm going to go back for the 4th of July. One of these days, I got to bring Cruz to hang out. But it was just a really, really, really fun time. And I think the whole trip was great. We went to the farmer's market, went out to lunch,
yep.
And it was a lot of fun. So, all right, we're going to get into some questions. Some of these questions are brutal, but you know what? I think it's important to be completely honest with this so you guys can get the real feel of what it was like to grow up with this Neanderthal myself, this crazy whack job that we call Jax. So, all right, Jenny, you ready?
Yep.
All right, you can be brutally honest.
Lay it on me.
Don't worry about offending me. People, okay. I don't think at this point in my life I can be offended anymore. I think it's, I think we've gotten rid of all that. So anyway, okay, what was it like having me as a brother? I mean, that's a podcast in itself.
Right. You're right. That is podcast in itself. It was, I was always on, let me see, how do I say this? Obviously I was scared of you. It was fun, but
You were scared of me?
You were a big brother. So he was always beating up on me and like playing games with me and tricking me. And I think torturing me was your favorite pastime.
I did like to torture her a lot. I did.
A lot.
And
he would basically pretend like we were going to play a game, and then it would end up with me crying. So that was all that, either gum in my hair, crying, calling, I cried wolf a lot because even when he'd come near me, I'd just start crying. So I wouldn't get in trouble.
I mean, we had some good times too.
No, they were fun. We had a good childhood.
I mean, it was your typical brother-sister stuff. I would lock her in the basement.
Typical brother-sister.
I locked you in the basement a few times.
And there's 4 years between us. I am the younger sister, which everybody sees the older sister. But so you have to think about that too. You're a lot older than me.
Yeah, we never were in school together. We are 4 years apart.
No.
We went to the same schools, but we were never in school together.
Elementary school was all.
Oh, yeah, elementary. We obviously
he had already made a name for himself before I even got to high school, so everybody already knew our last name when I was there. But we're relieved to have me as a student instead of you.
I wasn't that. I was great in high school. I think I hit my peak in my senior year. That's when I had Nikki as my girlfriend. I was dating the cheerleader. That's when I became cool. But you know what, too? I think obviously, like most, siblings, we got a lot closer when we got older. I think, and then that's kind of when things, changed, I think, for us. Was I a protective brother growing up?
I wouldn't say you were like super protective, but you also weren't around a lot.
But
And there was
I don't
times
think
where you were.
I don't think I
but
really
you
needed
definitely,
to. I didn't. Not to cut you off. I don't really think I ever needed to be protective. You were popular. You were cool.
No,
So
I mean, I would, yeah, but like, I wouldn't say that, like, I mean, you would tell on me if I had parties. He did not like me having parties at our house, and you would definitely tell. Um, or like, if I had a guy over, you would remember that one time you're like, did you say hi to my dad? Like, some
Well,
stuff like that.
yes,
But
that
you
one
really
thing-
weren't there around a lot when I was dating and a little bit older, you know?
that was the right thing to do, and I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do say, hey, listen, I don't care if you have a guy over, but you're going to say hi to my father first. If you're going to take
Yeah.
my sister into the basement, which we all know what you do in the basement, okay? You can at least
Okay.
acknowledge my father. That's fair.
But if I did anything wrong, even when you caught me and my friends smoking, like, you would hold it over my head. And
Yes, it was
then at
leverage.
the dinner table, you would start singing "Smoking in the Boys' Room," and then until I got so scared that I just gave myself up.
I needed that leverage. I needed it. Because when
it
you
was
were going to
awful.
tell on me for something, I was like, okay, I'll tell on you for smoking.
And I wonder why I have anxiety now because
Oh my God. All right. We're on question 2 and it's already getting like this. All right. But I think for the most part, the question was being protective. I really didn't need to be protective. Jenny was kind of, like I said, she was the cool kid. She was the popular kid. She
I don't know about
was
that,
kind of like, I feel like, I mean, if I was dating Jenny, I would be scared. So I didn't really ever have to be
What?
like, because you're very independent, strong, and you're
Yeah.
very, the way you talk. And like, if I was a boyfriend, I'd be like, shit, I'm scared of her because you kind of put people in their place. So I never really had to be like worried about a guy taking advantage of my sister because I would actually worry about the guy more than my sister, to be honest. I didn't really have to worry about her. She was kind of already, because she was already a ball buster, if you ask me. So,
yeah,
oh God, this is another one. This is terrible. Okay, but be gentle with this one. You kind of use it like be vague. Describe me in 3 words.
we had this question, remember, at the thing too. I think you're funny. I think that you are. What was the words I used?
I mean, this
What
shouldn't
was
take this
that
long.
word?
This shouldn't take
I
this
can't
long.
remember. It was like the perfect word. You think, but you don't think before you speak. So it is,
No,
but,
God, that's my motto. I shoot first, ask
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going through that right
So
now, actually.
You're very impulsive.
Yes.
Very impulsive. That's the word.
Where do you think I got that
And-
from?
What?
Why am I so impulsive? Is it ADD? Why
Yes,
am I so like
100%.
that? I don't know why I'm so like that. What was it like as a young kid and teen? What was Jax like as a young kid and a teen? Was he a jokester, a prankster, or more shy and reserved? Well, we know the answer to that.
No, you definitely weren't shy and reserved.
No.
You were definitely, I'd say, a jokester and a prankster, but
I think too. Like I like to entertain. I like to be the center of attention. Yeah?
Yes.
I don't think that ever went away. I think anything that we did a lot as a family. We went to like camping. Yeah. We went on trips together. We were a very, very, very close family. Jenny and I had a great family growing up. Obviously, you have your certain things that you deal with your family, your parents, whatever. But for the most part, we were a very, very close family. We did a lot together. We had an amazing
with family and friends.
With
we did a lot
family
with
and friends.
Family, friends, camping trips.
We were we both went to church. We both went to catechism. We made our communion.
I never made my communion.
You didn't make your communion?
No, I made my confirmation.
She made your confirmation. Sorry. We were both, like I said, involved with church. We were involved with like sports.
We had really good neighborhood friends too. So we were always on our bikes. We were always outside. We were always playing. So
we grew up in a neighborhood where people didn't lock their doors. Jimmy would be over for dinner. Susie's, hey, we're over this person's house.
We had a pool, so everyone was at our house.
Everybody was at our house because we had the pool, right? My mom would, and if you didn't know how to swim, my mom would teach the whole neighborhood how to swim. Everybody knew our family. Everybody knew my mom.
My mom did everyone's hair in the neighborhood. She did hair in the basement.
Yeah. We were like the house. Like people, we were like the center of where everybody came.
Our street was also a lot of young kids, so everybody just played in the streets.
Yeah.
It's just the way it was.
Yeah, it was a lot of we had a really, really, really good childhood, I think. Do you think?
We played sports. You were in hockey a lot. Hockey took up a lot of your time. Obviously, I had to get dragged along.
Yeah, I
played
had
soccer.
I had a different childhood because I was in travel hockey pretty much my whole life. So I didn't go to a lot of school events because I was always in different states. I was always in Canada. That's probably why my love from Canada is, because I was always in Canada playing hockey tournaments, or I was in different places. And majority of the time, it would be just me and my dad, because my sister would have to be home with my mom. So we were always traveling. We were a big hockey family pretty much my whole life. And then Jenny, unfortunately, was dragged along to a lot of my hockey games, so she would make friends with the brothers and sisters. But she grew up in hockey rinks. So basically, her second home was hockey rinks. And
Fraser Ice Arena.
Ice arenas, yeah. This is an ad by BetterHelp. Men today face immense pressure to perform, to provide, and keep it all together. So it's no wonder that 6 million men in the U.S. suffer from depression every year, and it's often undiagnosed. It's okay to struggle. Real strength comes from opening up about what you're carrying and doing something about it so you can be at your best for yourself and everyone in your life. And I've obviously been going through a lot, with my personal life, with my marriage, with my mental health. BetterHelp has helped me tremendously. I strongly suggest, guys, that you check them out, especially a guy like me who has refused to get help for so long, and I finally let myself get a little bit of help, and BetterHelp has been, I can't speak enough about them. With over 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient, too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/JaxTaylor. That's BetterHelp.com/JaxTaylor.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop, because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers, and Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
What was your favorite memory growing up with me?
I think my favorite memories are probably like Christmas time, because you would wake me up early and make me go, check my stockings, and then you would pretty much tell me everything I had.
That's not. Why is that
No,
a
I'm
good
kidding, I'm
memory?
kidding.
I ruined it
I'm
for
kidding,
you.
but no, it's a great memory, because then we would make our little areas and set up all our Christmas toys
Christmas and the
I don't know.
holidays.
We do have a lot of inside jokes, so it's kind of hard to explain.
And when we did get in trouble, there's a lot of times where we did get in trouble. We'd get in trouble together, so we would
get grounded to our rooms and
together, and we would
talk between the heater vents.
Yeah, we would talk between, we played telephone. So there's a lot of times where we did get in trouble, we would come together. I think sometimes when we got in trouble together, we came together more. Because we
tried to sneak in each other's rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
probably what typical kids do.
So, hey, what do you think? I mean, maybe it's changed. I guess it's definitely changed over the years. But what would you say I don't know why I'm getting emotional about this. What would you say, my best and worst qualities are?
I think your best quality is that you can be really funny and, fun to be around. And I think you mean well a lot of the times. I think your worst quality is probably that you do shoot now, think later, and you don't think about any of the consequences that are going to hurt anybody else. You just think about what you.
Oh, I'm very, very selfish, and it's like when I talk to people, my first instinct is to manipulate the situation. It's the first thing I think about. How can I manipulate this? How can I turn this around and make it about me? That's what I do. And I think right now, and I said this last week, my worst quality right now is validation and looking for.
Yeah, and I don't understand any of that. So that's what makes it really hard for me as your sister, because I'm so opposite. I don't care what anybody thinks of me at this point in my life. I'm 41 years old. I do what I want. I don't understand that you need that validation
I think for me,
from other
and
people.
I think because I wasn't like this growing up, I think, and I'm not blaming my surroundings, but moving to Chicago, moving to New York, doing what I did for a living, modeling, constant looking for attention and insecurity and all that,
Yeah.
like moving to a place where people are constantly judging you on how you look and how you act is a very, I've been doing this for so long. So long.
Yeah.
And 95% of the jobs that I went for, and this goes for every model and actor, 95% of the jobs you go for, you're not going to get. People are going to say you're not good enough. So when people tell you you're not good enough for so long, it starts to wear on you, right?
Yeah, but then my understanding is like, why would you want to be that?
I just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I went to college for a hot minute. I fucking hated college. I sat there and I just daydreamed. I daydreamed about moving to California, moving out of state. I used to say it all the time. The college is not for me. Like, it's just not. What am I going to do with myself after I get a degree? I'm not going to sit in an office. I'm not going to be a pencil pusher. It's not for me. So I was like, I grew up, doing little small modeling gigs in my hometown, and I really gone as far as I could with that. And I was like, well, maybe I should just continue doing this. Where else can I do this besides Michigan to make a little bit of a name for myself? So then I moved to Chicago, did really well there. Then I went to Miami, did really well there. So now I'm in this world, this light, which is a fake bubble of a world where you're living and you're modeling and people are so insecure and they're like the worst. I don't want to say the worst human beings, but they're pretty bad human beings in the entertainment and the modeling world. They're not good people, if that makes any sense. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think for me, I think I would be such a different person if I wasn't in the world that I'm in right now. I think if I would have stayed in Michigan with you, Jen, if I would have got a normal job, if I would have had a 9 to 5, I would definitely have kids. I would live. I probably wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in right now. Going through a divorce and all that. I honestly don't think that. I think I would be a completely different human being. I honestly think, and I think you would agree with me. I think if I would have took a different path, I think if I would have stayed in Michigan, got a normal job, I always say firefighter because that's probably what I would have done because I wasn't a pencil pusher. I wasn't a corporate guy. I think if I would have stayed there, got married, had kids, I would be a totally different human being. I think I'd still be married, but I also think I would also be a little bit miserable because I would have the what if. What if I would have went to California? What if I would have went to Chicago?
Yeah, I don't think staying in Michigan was for you at all. I think if anything, you'd end up in Florida or something like that. I don't think necessarily you chose the wrong path or whatever. I just think that it's one of the most unhealthiest. I mean, I don't understand it because I have never wanted that life. I like my private life. I like my everyday, not knowing where my paycheck's coming. I like all that stuff. I like discipline, I guess, if you will. But
you are a very structured human being. Like, you need to know where everything's going. You're very organized. You're very disciplined. You're a hard worker. You and Patrick are very, 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 structured people. And you guys do make great choices, which you listen to Dad. That's good. And that's something very admirable about you. Obviously.
I also, I wouldn't want to live in your world. It's just filled with so much.
Yes.
Nobody's real out there. I have the most amazing friends. I have a great family. Like, I just don't understand. That's hard for me. That's why I don't know why you wouldn't want that.
Yeah, I know. But I've been doing this for so long that I don't know any different anymore. I've been doing this since I was 22 years old. I'm 45. I don't know any different anymore. Like, this is normal to me. And everybody who comes to visit me, including yourself, they say everybody who comes to visit me, how do you live that life? How?
Yeah.
And nobody can understand how I live the life that I live. Nobody can understand how there are people like, these are your friends? Like, all you guys do is talk shit about each other. Like, nobody's actually really your friend, it seems like, which if you look at it, you're kind of like, you know what, you're right. Like, the stuff that we go through is not normal. It's not normal.
No.
Maybe it's the normal way in LA. Maybe it's the normal way in the entertainment industry, which even then to me is not really normal. But, I go back to Michigan and sometimes I'll just get up in the morning and sit there and be like, what if I would have had this life? What if I would have, God, I'm like.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been happy. You would have been bored.
Yeah, so
you would have been bored. Even when you get here, you're antsy to go do something. That's just not you.
It's just not me. I have a hard time just sitting still. And I definitely would have been bored, but I don't know what I would have done. Like, I wouldn't have been happy, I don't think. God, this is such an emotional thing. I don't know why I'm getting upset, but it was tough. It was tough for me, but it sucks when you come here because I'm always so worried that what you're going to think or what you're going to say or how you're going to feel. But you guys, I feel like I make you guys all like triggered when you get here. Like, you're like so antsy, and I probably drive you guys crazy. when you're here?
No, I mean, I had to learn to. I mean, I grew up with you, so I know exactly how you operate. I mean, I just don't love LA because I just don't love LA. Like, to me, it's just such a different world.
I
mean,
hate it here too. I fucking hate it here. But I have, my son's here, my business is
I mean,
here.
the only reason I come is to see you guys and my nephew. I mean, otherwise I have zero reason to be in LA. There's nobody, everyone there is fake, everyone there. I mean, of course, all the friends that I had through you, whatever, but it's just not my scene.
Yeah. No, I understand. Like I said, if I could do what I'm doing right now somewhere else, I would leave tomorrow. As soon as this podcast is over, I'd pack my bags and get the fuck out of here. I would in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just not able to. I can't do it right now. But guys, before we continue on, I just forgot to tell you guys that Lori is on here. She's back. She hasn't been on here for a long time, but my sister was like, I am not doing this podcast unless Lori is on it. So Lori's like, okay, Jax, I will be on because I love your sister and I want to make sure she feels comfortable. So everybody, welcome Lori. How are you, Lori?
Hi, guys. I'm good.
Hi, Lori.
And Jenny's very, very
Jenny.
happy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Jenny's the best. We love Jenny.
Aw, thanks.
They get along very, very well. They've known each other for a while, and she's like, the only way I'm doing that is if Lori's on. So she is on here. Feel free to chime in on any of this. So anyway, so what's something that people wouldn't know about me that they'd be shocked to hear?
Well, I told this at the thing too, at the podcast thing, that you're a really great artist, and so many. I know you didn't think it was a big deal, but so many people came up to me and were like, "Oh my gosh, I never knew that." That when I was in the audience asking questions, they're like, "Thank you for sharing that with us. We would have never known that." But that you can draw almost anything, and you would spend hours in your room just drawing and being an artist. And I always would try to emulate what you were drawing, and I could obviously never do it, but I think people would never. I mean, if you've ever seen his handwriting, it's like a girl's handwriting. It's so pretty.
His handwriting is beautiful. It's shocking.
When I really try to do it, when I put my mind to it, I can. And my dad and I write the same exact. I think Dad writes like me too a little bit. But I don't know where that came from. When I was younger and I was in school and I would write notes. You remember the old days of writing notes to each other and write. Everybody did you have a girl write this? Because you have girl handwriting. Everybody would say I have girl handwriting. And remember that? They're like, why do you have girls write your notes? I'm like, no, this is my handwriting. They're like, no, it's not. The guys don't write like this.
And you would have such an imagination because you would draw these things, and I'm like, how did you think of that? And I would just copy your drawings.
I had a really, really clear memory. And here's the thing too, which people don't realize, and I think you would agree. Do you think I have I know I do some really fucked up shit. I do some really malicious things. Well, no, that's not true. I do some really, really bad things, but I don't think that I'm a malicious person. Sometimes I don't think like other people think. And I think that sometimes I'm doing the right thing, but I also think I have a big heart. Do you think I do?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have a big heart. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you would have anybody in your life if you didn't have a heart. I think everybody would have been, if you were malicious.
I think if someone was to call me right now and say, Jax, I need your help, I would drop everything and go. If someone said, hey, I need $1.
Think you're that kind of person. Yeah, yes, I do. Although I do remember a story when we were kids and we pranked you, and my friend said that your sister's in jail, we need you. And you were like, why are you calling me? Call my parents. Remember that? And they're like, but they want you, you need you to get out of jail. And you were like, Maddie and Nicole were like,
Did I really say that?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, I do not remember.
No, but that was back when we were teenagers, and you probably knew we were pranking you anyway. But anyways, I do think that you would help anybody.
It's so hard for me not to put other people first. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I have a hard time not always thinking about me. And I feel like I have to really it sounds so bad. I have to really try hard to put other people first. Which is hard. Yeah. It's stupid. I don't know why I'm like that. Why am I so selfish? I don't know why. Where did I get that from? I don't even know where it came from. Well, I think you and I can agree who we got that from, yeah? I don't want to say it, but I think I have a lot of...
How about that Amazon package that I asked you to return for me?
So Lori will not stop bringing this up.
Won't.
First of all,
and who did it? Who returned it? I asked Jax for one single favor to return an Amazon package, just to drop it off at the Whole Foods. And they had an Amazon checkout.
I don't know how to do things like that. I don't even know how to turn my phone on.
I gave you the address. It was just to drop the box off, but Tom Schwartz did it.
But I said, hey, Tom, can you do it? Would you mind doing it?
See, that's another fault of yours too, is that you don't have patience for things like that. That's why you don't do it. You don't know how to do it. You don't want to learn how to do it. You don't have patience for it, so you're just never going to do it. That's a huge thing with you.
Yeah, I don't want to learn new things. Like I just have zero interest in learning new things, and I don't like if I can't figure it out, I'll find somebody who else can do it. You know, I just don't like. I don't know why my brain just doesn't work that way. I don't like trying new things. I don't like to do new things. I just go through. I just go through life.
I mean, how long was it that you only ate a cheeseburger and fries and breaded shrimp for years, and a hard taco from Taco Bell? It was like that was the extent of your palate right there.
I don't know what it was. I just didn't like to try new things. And even still to this day, I don't like to – I'm a very meat and potatoes kind of guy. I don't like to go places. I don't like to travel. I don't like to try new things. Like the fact that you went to – like I get anxiety. The fact that you went to Malta, you went to Italy on vacation. Like I'll go if I have to work. Like I had to do jobs in Europe and stuff. But just to go and like try new things is like – I wish I could be like that. I wish I would want to try new stuff. I have zero interest in seeing anything or doing anything. If I can see it in a book, that's good enough for me. You know?
I want to say that I actually saw some improvement with you this past week when you were flying back from Detroit and you got stuck in a middle economy seat on an airplane. And we all know how Jax feels about that. He was blowing Ryan and myself up, freaking out. And I said, Jesus, we're going to have another JetBlue Page 6 fiasco. There's no way he's going to do it. And you know what? You were calm. You did it. You know, I was shocked.
You did?
There's major improvement.
There's one thing in life that I am bougie about, and we've talked about this. Yeah. I literally am a very normal. I don't like nice things. I'm a very meat and potatoes. I get my coffee at a gas station. I have the same 3 pairs of jeans that I've had for the last 10 years. Like I don't like bougie things, but the one thing that I like. The one thing I can't handle is sitting in a middle seat on a plane. I can't do it. And I don't know what happened. There was some kind of lost in translation, or we had an outside person booking my flights that normally don't book my flights. And I had a flight from Michigan to LA, which is about
actually what happened was you're the only person I know that doesn't check in for their flight on your own. So normally a person like 24 hours before, you're even the night before, you check in, you make sure what seat you're sitting in. But yeah, for some reason, nobody did it for you. And I don't know what happened. I'm proud of you. I will say I will give you that, Jax. I'm very proud.
You know, and right now I need the small W's, and that is one of them. That's a very small. I need the small wins right now. It's very, very important to me, obviously, because of everything that I'm going through right now. I need the W's, and I go. You know what? I'll handle it. So it was a 4.5-hour flight from Detroit to LA. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my seat changed, so I just dove into it and just sat in the middle. And I did it. And I was pretty proud of myself. That is just the one thing that I will cause a nightmare about is sitting in the middle. And I somehow did it. So yeah, I guess I appreciate that. That was a little win for me. Oh God. I mean, I know the answer to this one already. Do you think Jax changed for the worse moving out to LA and being on reality TV?
That's a dumb question.
It's a dumb question because I think yes. Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, can you elaborate on that?
I mean, honestly, I can say I really don't know what you would have done. I don't know, maybe sales or something. I don't know. I don't know what you would have done, but I just think like it's just such an insecure, lonely life. So I just feel like, I mean, I think everybody in LA is like, you know, everybody seeks validation. Everybody seeks this. And I think it takes a very strong person to be able to live that life and not be changed by it. I mean, even when I go there on like vacation and visit and I go down to Rodeo Drive and I'm like, oh, I'm not a name brand person. I'm not of this. I'm like, oh, maybe I do want this. Maybe I do. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to be influenced by any of that shit. So take a person getting beaten down, and then whatever, and you get a couple highs, and then, yeah, you're addicted to it, and then it just turns you into somebody that you don't even recognize anymore.
Yeah.
I remember that Jax bought you your first designer bag, right, for your birthday recently. And
well, Laura, you helped with that, and I appreciate that.
No, but he wanted to do something special for you, and I remember that you were just so grateful and so appreciative. And it's just such a moment of, wow, Jack, like we don't know many people like your sister, you know what I mean, that are so down to earth and just so appreciative of just anything. You know, you've always just struck me as, it's amazing how different the two of you are, you know, like you came from the same beginnings and then you just went off on your own, but you're so different. And I think that's the thing when it comes to Jax, people that really know him see those glimpses of like his humbleness. And yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Jenny, that LA definitely
Fucked me
was
up.
for the worst, for sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the life that I live is very fake and shiny and not real, and it's very cutthroat here. Your friends are, they're your friends, but you got to also worry about them. Your day-to-day is not normal here. Your lifestyle is not normal here.
Well, then take somebody who has, for lack of a better, mental illness or, anxiety or ADD or this, and then that just makes it tenfold.
It makes it a lot worse, especially.
I could never look online and see what people write about me, and I don't even look at what people write about you, because whether it's true or not, it just gives me straight anxiety. I couldn't do it. No way. We're hard enough on ourselves, and then for everyone else to sit there, I know it's just trolls or whatever, but it just, I don't know.
Everybody's got an opinion, and I can't live my life worrying about what other people think.
I'm not saying that at all.
I can care less. A lot of these people are keyboard warriors, and they're all insecure about their lives, and they're projecting their insecurities onto me. That's usually what it is. But I mean, a lot of people too, they hit the nail on the head too, which kind of hurts. But at the same time, like, I'm putting everything out there. Like, I don't hold back. And what you see is what you get with me, whether you like it or whether you don't. Obviously, this year is a very, very tough year for me, for Brittany, for my family. And I'm literally putting it all out there. I'm hoping that, other men can see what I'm going through, and hopefully I can help at least one person on maybe what not to do or what to do. I'm hoping that they can see, like, wow, this guy's on television and he's literally a broken human being. It's okay that I'm going through it, because he is. I've gotten a lot of messages on saying, hey, thank you for being so, open and honest about everything that you're going through, because it sucks, man. It really, really sucks. Divorce is the worst thing you can possibly ever go through. And then not only going through divorce, but I'm going through it publicly. The whole world is, like, day by day going through what I'm going through. So it's very, very hard. You have to have, like, when I say thick skin, your skin needs to be like leather. Like, it needs to be like leather, because there's just no way that anybody could go through this and come out on the other side and continually to get beaten down. Like, it happens, and it's really, really tough. There's so many times where I just want to throw in the towel and be like, you know what, this is just not worth it anymore. But then I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, I can fix this. And then I'll get like 3 steps ahead, and then I'll do something stupid and fuck it up, and then get 20 steps back, which is really frustrating. But I do it to myself. I know that. It's just like, I look for these quick fixes, and this is just the one thing in life that I can't fix really fast. It's going to take time. So unfortunately, that's kind of where we are with that. So you think you said, so you think I've gotten worse since out here? Yeah, I think so too. I think too, though, when I go back to Michigan, after the first day or two, I see myself going back into my old ways, like as how I used to grow up in Michigan. Do you agree with that? Like, when you see me there, do you see me relaxed a little bit? Do you see me a little bit more? I don't have such anxiety when I'm back home, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think that, obviously you like to visit your places and stuff like that. I think if you didn't have your phone as much, you'd probably be a lot more relaxed, but
I know the phone has become a problem. And I was just thinking about that today. Like, who are the people that I really need to talk to? I have maybe a handful of people that I need to talk to on a day-to-day basis. So I'm like, do I need to be on social media? No, I don't. And even everybody always tells me, Lori and Ryan, get off your fucking phone, get off your social media. There's no reason
Don't
for you
you feel so much better when you don't know it? I mean, ignorance is bliss.
I know, and it is and it's not, because, like, I try to block it all out, but at the same time, there is stuff that even Ryan and Lori tell me that you need to hear, because you're not going to see and how to fix yourself if you don't see what the fuck is going on. So it's kind of like
but they can send you that, at the same time.
I really did want Jax to go completely dark for actually the entire season, and more so for his mental health, because he, has been on this recovery journey, and obviously watching and reliving everything back and how dark social media can be. And I knew it would be. I really wanted him to do that. And also, you admit that you sometimes retaliate back in the comment section. And I just, again, as your publicist, I felt like it was best to have him go completely off. And you have been better in terms of, commenting and things like that. I will say, not perfect, but better.
I know. I think I went a little bit too far to the left as far as like taking myself out, because there's some things for me to get better and to grow and to be a better person. There's some things that I need to see, so I'm aware of what's going on. But I think I took it so much to the extreme of blocking everything, not knowing and living in my own little world, thinking like, oh, everything's fine. And I'm not really noticing, okay, Jax, this is what's really going on and you're not seeing this. I was like, well, wait a minute. You told me not to look at my social media. Yeah, but, split the difference a little bit. You need to see these kind of things just so you can fix them. I think it's just really important right now because my brain is so fragile. And I feel like if I see things, certain things that, which it shouldn't bother me, but some things might trigger me, it might send me down a wrong path. And something might hit a chord. And I think that's just, I don't think I'm strong enough right now to read certain things. And I feel like if it's important enough, I feel like you or Ryan say, hey, listen, this is what you need to read, or something maybe you can screen grab. And I don't think you do it maliciously. I think you do it because out of concern, because sometimes I can be really naive and think, okay, everything's fine when really it's not. And I think I got to split the difference a little bit. The point of this whole thing is I need to stay off my phone. The only people I need to contact right now is Brittany, you, Ryan, obviously my sister, but there's really, and a couple friends here and there. Other than that, I should not be on my phone as much as it is. I don't know what it is. And I think everybody is like that. We're all addicted to our phones. I mean, you know what's really scary? If you go on your phone and see how much time, you go see how much hours you spend on your phone weekly. It's a fucking scary thing. You're like, holy shit, I literally spent like 75 hours on my phone this week. That's insane. That's insane.
So can we do an experiment? Can I lock you out of your Instagram?
Lock me out of my Instagram?
Lock you out.
That's scary to do because we can talk about that off camera. Maybe we can meet each other halfway.
That's a no.
Maybe we can meet each other halfway. Like say, hey, listen, here's what you're going to do. Maybe we can lock this out certain days. Maybe I don't know. I would be open to that. I think taking me out completely cold turkey would be a little much. But if there's something where we can split the difference.
Why? I wish someone would say I
do, but my job is a little different than yours. Like my life is a little different than yours.
I could post for you. Let's try it. Let's start with 48 hours.
Okay, all right.
Okay, guys, he's going dark for 48
I think
hours.
it would be do you think it would be a good idea for me to do that?
Yeah.
Little side note, happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So everybody out there that's going through something, we're thinking about you. And ask for help if you guys need it, okay? Thank you guys again for listening. We'll be back next week with more questions from my sister. I thought it went pretty well. Listen, I just want to clarify something really quick. A lot of you guys have these conspiracy theories that I did not go to rehab/mental health facility. And the reason I say both is because it is both. A lot of people say, well, why are you calling it a mental health facility one week and a rehab next week? Because they did both. And I was there 2 times. I was there for 30 days the first time, and I was there for 17 days the second time. Yes, I know a lot of people are like, wow, why did he have his phone? I don't make the rules in rehab, okay, in mental health facilities. I don't. They took away my phone for 48 hours. Now, should I have had my phone the whole time? Probably not. But you know what? They gave it to me, and this is where we are. So, Lori, I mean, can you vouch for me that I was there? I'm getting some crazy things. People are saying I was living in a basement. I was living at my producer's house. I was living in my own apartment, just saying I was there. I don't know where any of this is coming from.
Yes, I will say with 100% certainty that you were at the facility for 30 days the first time, 17 days the second time. Honestly, I understand why people, may be questioning it from watching everything, but 100% he was. They contacted Ryan, myself, every single day with check-ins. So yes, he was at a facility, and a real one.
I paid for this facility myself. And just like you said, this was not court ordered. This was not mandated. This is something that, I wanted to go into. So I think things were a little bit more lenient because, like I said, it was voluntary. But yeah, if I would do it again, obviously I would not have my phone. But we talked about this in the past. Having my phone gave me the control. And unfortunately, I used it in the wrong way. Instead of checking emails for work or whatever, I used it to, text Brittany, which I should not have done. But yes, I did go to PsyClarity. It was a great facility. Like I said, I went twice. But it's all what you make of it in these places. And, the first time I didn't take it 100% seriously. The second time I felt I did. But like I said, they give you the tools there. You have to use them on the outside. There's only so much that they can do. They can, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink kind of thing. So, but yeah, I definitely went. And I strongly suggest if anybody else is going through what I've gone through that you go. PsyClarity was great. So I just wanted to address that really quick because I've seen some funny things online. But so anyway, tune in next week. We will continue with part 2 of Questions with My Sister. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. And don't forget to watch The Valley every Tuesday.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.